Today our topic is why desire is the root of suffering. Stoic perspective. To understand this, we must first look at what desire means. Desire is the feeling of wanting something we do not have. It could be money, fame, love, success, or even small things like a new phone or a better job. The Stoics, who were ancient philosophers, believed that desire is the main cause of human suffering. They taught that if we can control our desires, we can find peace and happiness in life. Let me explain why they thought this way and how we can apply their wisdom to our lives. The Stoics believed that the world is not under our control. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. This is a key idea in Stoicism. When we desire something, we are trying to control the world. We want things to be a certain way, and when they are not, we feel pain. For example, if you desire to be rich and you do not become rich, you will feel unhappy. If you desire to be loved by someone and they do not love you, you will feel heartbroken. The Stoics say that this pain comes from our desire, not from the situation itself. They teach us that we should focus on what we can control, which is our own mind and our own actions. We cannot control whether we become rich or whether someone loves us, but we can control how we think about these things. If we stop desiring them so much, we will not suffer when we do not get them. This is not easy to do, but it is possible with practice. The Stoics give us tools to help us. One of these tools is to think about what is truly important in life. They say that many of the things we desire are not important. For example, being rich or famous might seem important, but it does not bring real happiness. Real happiness comes from within, from being a good person and living a virtuous life. The Stoics believed that virtue is the only true good. Virtue means qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. If we focus on developing these qualities, we will find peace and happiness, no matter what happens in the outside world. Another tool the Stoics give us is to practice negative visualization. This means imagining the worst-case scenario and accepting it. For example, if you are afraid of losing your job, imagine that you have already lost it. Think about how you would survive and what you would do next. By doing this, you take away the power of your fear. You realize that even if the worst happens, you can still be okay. This helps you to stop desiring things so much, because you see that you do not need them to be happy. The Stoics also teach us to live in the present moment. Many of our desires are focused on the future. We want to have a better job in the future, or we want to find love in the future. But the future is not under our control. The only moment we have is the present. If we can learn to be content with what we have right now, we will not suffer from desire. This does not mean that we should not have goals or dreams. It means that we should not let our happiness depend on them. We should enjoy the journey, not just the destination. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Epictetus, said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This means that true wealth is not about having a lot of things, but about needing very little. If we can reduce our desires, we will feel rich no matter how much or how little we have. This is a powerful idea, but it is not easy to live by. Our society tells us that we need more and more to be happy. We are bombarded with advertisements that make us want things we do not need. But the Stoics remind us that we do not need these things to be happy. Happiness comes from within, from being content with what we have. Another Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is another key idea in Stoicism. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we think about it. If we can change our thoughts, we can change our feelings. For example, if you lose your job, you can think, "This is a disaster, my life is over." Or you can think, "This is an opportunity to find something better." The situation is the same, but your thoughts about it are different. The Stoics teach us to choose thoughts that help us, not hurt us. They also teach us to accept things as they are. This is called Amor fati, which means love of fate. Instead of fighting against what happens, we should accept it and even love it. This does not mean that we should not try to improve our lives. It means that we should not resist what we cannot change. For example, if it rains on the day of your picnic, you can be upset and angry, or you can accept it and find something else to do. The rain is not under your control, but your reaction to it is. By accepting things as they are, we reduce our suffering. The Stoics also teach us to be grateful for what we have. Gratitude is a powerful tool for reducing desire. When we focus on what we have, instead of what we lack, we feel happier. For example, if you are unhappy because you do not have a big house, think about the people who do not have a home at all. If you are unhappy because you do not have a lot of money, think about the people who do not have enough to eat. By practicing gratitude, we realize that we have more than we think. This helps us to stop desiring so much and to appreciate what we already have. In conclusion, the Stoics teach us that desire is the root of suffering because it makes us focus on what we do not have instead of what we do have. It makes us try to control things that are not under our control, which leads to pain and frustration. But if we can reduce our desires, focus on what is truly important, and accept things as they are, we can find peace and happiness. This is not easy to do, but it is possible with practice. The Stoics give us tools like negative visualization, living in the present moment, and practicing gratitude to help us. By using these tools, we can learn to be content with what we have and stop suffering from desire. Remember, true wealth is not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True happiness comes from within, not from the outside world. So let us try to live like the Stoics, focusing on what we can control, accepting what we cannot, and finding peace in the present moment. This is the path to a life without unnecessary suffering.